Yeah, for sure. You mean as a staff, we thought we identified this as being a pretty deep draft defensively, and obviously, at the end of the day, we just needed good players. And as far as nationality and position, we just kept thinking at this point of the draft as it went on, they were still the best players available. So I don't think we're quite in a position yet to start really picking position. It just kind of happened to be that, defense were kind of top heavy at this draft.
Hawkins said you had a bit of a crush on the Finnish kid, Antti. Is how he described it. Is that a guy?
Well, so he's throwing this on me, is he? Of course. I've liked this kid all year for sure. We talk at length. You watch the playoffs and you see the size of these guys, and with St. Louis and Boston being in there, that doesn't mean they're big and just big. This is a guy that's 6'5", plays with a real bite to his game, but is a good player. He's got good sense. He can find the middle of the ice. We really liked him. We thought, obviously, that's why we stepped up and took him. He was a guy that we had targeted for a while at 35, and he happened to be there, and we were ecstatic to leave with him.
It just seems like with a lot of these kids, maybe right now they're not quite there, but the upside seems really high.
Well, that's our job, really. It's not to pick the best player today. It's who's going to be the best player in age 21, 22, 23, and foremost. And some of these kids might not play. That's just kind of the nature of the beast that we deal with. But at the end of the day, we're trying to build something with, what can they bring to the table? What do they bring that excites us? And then we got to hand them off to our development guys and work on the stuff. Everybody has something to work with and to improve at this stage of the game, and we monitor and evaluate that as they go on. And we had a lot of picks. And we gained another pick late. We were happy with the draft. We didn't really put an emphasis on saying we're going to continue to take defensemen or it's time to take a winger. We thought we got good size. We've got people that can skate. We've got real competitive kids. Took a goalie at the late that has a chance that's going to go to college, and that's just kind of the way the draft unfolded for us.
So what excited you a guy like Ethan Phillips? You said pick guys that will excite you. What do you like about him?
Well, he's undersized, but he's a very fast skater. He's got very good hockey sense. He's got very, very good skill, and we just thought at the value of where he was at. He's going to go to college. We got a little bit more time to develop him, with going to college for 4 years. He's got to get stronger, obviously. We hope he grows, but that's not really. I think if you look at the National Hockey League, I think there's more and more small players playing. But you got to be fast, you got to be quick, you got to have skill, and he fit all those bills for us, and that's why we took him.
Does the competitiveness with him give you confidence that maybe if he's not
Who's that, sorry?
With Phillips?
Yeah.
Does the competitiveness give you confidence he can have some kind of physical game even despite his size?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a difference between being competitive and being there's different levels of competitiveness. Competitive on the puck, strong stick, stuff like that. By no means is he going to be running people over, but that's not why we drafted him. I think Master Simone is a perfect example as well, as not the most tall guy for that matter, but skating's got to improve, but his work ethic and his compete level were off the charts for us, and he's got skill. So all these kids have something that really, really intrigued us, and they all got to work on things to get better. Will all of them make it? Probably not, but at the end of the day, we walked away and thought we got a good group of kids going forward to add to the pool that we already got.
More kids
To be honest with you, our U.S. guys kind of pounded the table more than I did. I didn't see them at all this year. They were looking at them and they wanted them. And at the end of the day, you got to listen to who's pounding the table for, a specific player at that time. And we gave them their opportunity to make the pick.
What did they like about him?
Big kid, 6'1", good skater. He's got some hockey background. His relations to Dave Ellett, I believe. Some little bit of pedigree there. So going to North Dakota, good program. We were just intrigued by it.
Is the Russian kid kind of like just a big-time sleeper there that maybe not a lot of folks
Well, we thought he was a sleeper. We really liked him. We kind of played the draft a little bit as far as, you know, we traded one of the picks to go back and get another pick. We thought he'd be available, and which he was, so it worked out in our favor for that, to use one of that. But not a very big guy, but another guy that's got skill and has got sense. We did it with Kimavaki last year in the 7th round. If these guys play, they're going to be impact players. Whether they will or not, that's really to be determined yet.
Surprised that Greve fell into the 3rd round.
You know what? I've done so many drafts. You're not surprised. We always sit here and say, well, we can't believe that he's available. I mean, there's 30 other different philosophies and needs for that matter. And some people have multiple picks, some people don't. We like his competitive aspect of it. This guy is a real hard player to play against, but he's also got skill. So obviously we like him.
He said he has had some concussion issues, but you guys, that didn't scare you guys?
Yeah, we do our due diligence on stuff like that. Obviously, when there's a history of it, you got to make note, but we get our doctors to take a look at all these guys' medical records and stuff that we have access to. So, to be honest with you, I don't know too many hockey players that haven't had a concussion. Some say I might have had too many. So.
That's a nice picture. How current is that?
They almost didn't let me back on the floor today because of it too. I actually drew a little bit of hair on there if you could see it, so it's good. Learning process, 100% learning process. You know, I like the fact that we have it right now. You test them, you get some baseline kind of value of where they're at physically and what they need to work on, and you continue to test them as they come out. You don't have to tell us how much work you're doing. When you come back and do the test, we know how much work you've done, and there's no hiding. In this day, development is such a big process in the National Hockey League level. You got to be able to draft right. You got to be able to develop. You got to sit there and cross your fingers and hope the players turn out.